All right, let's get back to it. Video 2 with the example 3. What is the sum of the exterior angle measures of a convex polygon, right? So we want to take a look at this. This would be an octagon, right? And we ask ourselves, okay, what are these 8 angles on the outside, right? The exterior angles, again, made by the extension of a side and the side of the polygon. What are they going to add up to? Okay. So let's take a look at our picture. Okay, so let's remember that one side of the polygon, right, extends. The other side is the other side of the angle. Okay, that's how you get an exterior angle. This right here is very important. The interior and exterior angles form what are called linear pairs, right? They create these straight lines. See this right here? Interior angle, exterior angle, straight line. So they're going to add up to 180. Okay, so if we think of this, right? If we think of this. If we take all of the interior angles and add them up, sum of the interior angles, and we add the sum of the exterior angles, we are going to get the number 180 n times, because there are n interior angles, there are n exterior angles, and they will add up to 180 n times. Well, think about the interior angle sum theorem. 180 times n minus 2 plus, okay, I don't know what this sum is, sum of the exterior angles, which is what I'm trying to find, and this over here is 180n. Well, let's distribute the 180 to the n minus 2, so that's 180n minus 360 plus the sum of the exterior angles equals 180n. And you notice here that there's a 180n on both sides, so they're going to cancel. And let's move the 360 to the right by adding it. And there you go. The sum of the exterior angles of your polygon is going to be 360 degrees. Notice it has nothing to do with n. This is always the case for any polygon. The sum of those exterior angles is 360 by this little algebraic proof. Okay, so again, keep this in mind as we go through and do some problems involving interior and exterior angles. So here is your formal theorem recap. So again, the sum of the measures of the exterior angles of any convex polygon is 360. No n value, has nothing to do with the number of sides. Okay, so again, does not depend on the number of sides n. Very important. It's just the number. That's the word depend, by the way. Depend, sorry. Okay, so if you look at this picture of this pentagon, angles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they add together to get 360. Now let's take a look at the Savas tool here. I think we will. Here, give me 1 second. Okay, sorry for the delay. So here we go. So let's go back to the triangle. Sure, so if you look here, right, we know that the interior angles of the triangle are all 60 degrees. So each of the exterior angles is 120 because they're supplementary, and 120 times 3 is 360. Here's your square. Interiors are 90, exteriors are also 90. 4 times 90 is 360. For a pentagon, these are regular figures, by the way, insides are 108, outsides are 72, because that makes 180, and then 72 times 5 is 360. So each time, even with 10 sides. So for a 10-sided figure, the inside is going to be 144. So the extra angle is 36, and 36 times 10 is 360. So every time, the sum of those extra angles is 360. Okay? All right, so let's head back to our notes and do a couple problems involving interior and exterior angles. All right, so example 4, it says find the measure of an exterior angle. So here we go. Angle 1 and angle 3 are congruent. Angle 1 is 3x. Angle 2 is 2x. What is the measure of each exterior angle? Okay, so our exterior angles are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So a couple things. Number 1, let's take a look at what this says. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. So I'm going to put a congruent marking there, congruent marking there. It tells us that angle 1 is 3x. So if angle 1 is 3x, then angle 3 is also 3x. And then it says angle 2 is 2x, and this angle is 2x. These 5 exterior angles, 4 and 5 included, have to add up to 360. So long story short, the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 plus measure of angle 3 plus measure of angle 4 plus measure of angle 5 equals 360. Always and forever. Now we know angle 1 is 3x. We know angle 2 is 2x. We know angle 3 is 3x. Do we know the measure of angle 4? Well, yes, we do. Because the interior and exterior angle are supplementary. If the inside angle is 90 degrees, so is the outside angle. Same thing with 5. So they're both 90. So plus 90 is 360. Combine your x's. 3x, 2x, and 3x is 7. No, 8x. I'm sorry. Woof. Woofa. Long day. My apologies. 8x. 90 and 90 is 180. That's 360. We'll subtract 180 from both sides. 8x equals 180 and divide by 8. And x is 22.5. So to find the 5 exterior angles, so the measure of angle 1 is going to be 3 times 22.5. And that is going to be 67.5 degrees. Angle 2 is going to be 2 times 22.5. And that's 45 degrees. Angle 3 is congruent to angle 1, so it's also 67.5 degrees. Angle 4 is 90 degrees, and angle 5 is 90 degrees. And there's the 5 exterior angle measures. Okay, we got one more problem to do. Number 5, it says, what are the measures of the interior angles of this pentagon? Right, so it's a pentagon. Now notice these interior angles, this is not a regular pentagon, right? So we just need to find the sum of the angles and set this all equal to it. So for a pentagon, the sum is going to be 180 times 5 minus 2, right? A pentagon has 5 sides. So this is 180 times 3, which is again 540. So we're going to take all of these angles and add them together to get 540. So I'll start right here. And I'll go around in a circle like that. So 6x minus 3. You don't need the parentheses because you're going to add these all together. Plus 3x plus 4 plus 7x minus 3 plus 6x plus 12. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 angles. Don't forget about the 90, right? A lot of people overlook that because it doesn't involve x. That's 90 degrees. Plus 90 equals 540. Let's combine our x terms. 6, 9, 16, 22, 22x. Let's combine our numbers. Negative 3, positive 1, negative 2, positive 10, positive 100. Plus 100 equals 540. We're going to subtract 100 from both sides. 22x equals 440. And we'll divide by 22. And that looks like x is going to be 20. So now it wants to know the measure of all the interior angles. So here we go. Let's just plug it in. So 6 times 20 minus 3. That's 120 minus 3, which is 117. 3 times 20 plus 4, that's 60 plus 4, which is 64. 7 times 20 minus 3, that's 140 minus 3 is 137. 6 times 20 plus 12, that's 120 plus 12, which is 132. And then, of course, the last angle was 90 degrees. And if you added these 5 angles together, you should get 540 degrees. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in class.